We often get asked about the temperature in the float tank. Will you get too cold, or is it going to be too hot? So let's talk a little bit about the temperature when you're floating. We usually describe that it feels like you're floating in space. The temperature is perfectly regulated so that you're comfortable and you don't overheat. We call this skin receptor neutral because the air temperature and the water temperature in the float tank are exactly the same as your body temperature, which we usually have set right around 96 degrees. So this isn't core temperature, this is your body temperature at the skin surface. So once you're settled into the float tank, the air temperature and your body temperature, as well as the water, are in perfect harmony, and you can get the most cozy experience possible. You won't feel like you're sweating or shivering in the float tank. Instead, it's a warm and cozy embrace that comes as part of the float therapy experience. And if you're wondering why the float tanks are set up like that, it's because it's part of the experience that allows us to really reduce the external distractions from our environment so that we can process less, which allows our brain to calm down even further and really turn off our nervous system. And by comparison, right now, think about all of the external distractions in your environment, even just on your body. Like, what do your clothes feel like to you? Are they too tight or are they very comfortable? How are the socks that you're wearing feel? I personally like to wear ankle socks because I find that the tight compression of regular socks around my ankles and calves is just not very comfortable for me. All of these factors come into play, even things like what your watch is doing, or if your phone's in your pocket, are all sending you inputs. And all of these inputs have to be managed by our nervous system and by our brain. So when we eliminate all of that from our environment, it allows us to come to a much calmer state of being. And this is just one of the powerful ways that float therapy helps to really reduce stress and promote deep relaxation. I really think that this is one of the best parts about float therapy, is how we lose track of our physical surroundings, and you can't even tell if your hands or feet are in the float tank solution or they're in the air. And it's just the most liberating feeling for getting into more of a relaxed state. Now, one more question that often comes up in terms of floating and the temperature is if we can make adjustments. And the answer is yes, as long as we're given enough notice. We have the float tanks prepared for the perfect temperature for the vast majority of our customers. Some people do naturally run a little hot or run a little cooler, in which case certain float tanks can be a better choice. But we can also adjust the temperature, and even a few notches of a degree makes a big difference in the perfect comfort levels for you. So if this is something that would be beneficial for you and your float experience, be sure to leave a comment when you are booking your appointment. There's a simple box that you can enter in any notes or requests about your appointment, and that way we can prepare the float tank so that it's ideal for you.